I'd like to say a few things about the connection between linguistic diversity and linguistic inequality, or in general, diversity and inequality. It's a theme, a motive that has kept me, busy throughout most of my career. I have to start from social linguistics. Social linguistics essentially is the study of linguistic diversity. All right, is the study of how in a language or different languages, but let's take one language, people appear to have different varieties of it. Okay, so they speak it with different accents. There are dialects, there are ethnolects, there are sociolects, and so on and so on. All right, so we have been able as a discipline and very successful over about a century, to identify these objective differences between varieties of language. In that sense, social linguistics is, if you wish, the study of how linguistic differences can be connected to social, say, differences, to diacritics like race or social class or ethnicity, gender, age, and what have you, professional group, and what have you. So we're familiar with that. This is one particular way of looking at social linguistics, and a very respectable one. I mean, most introductions to social linguistics would stop here. Now, in my view, they stop too early, in the sense that the social dynamic of language, specifically of this kind of diversity within language, the variation of language, all right, is never complete without a contemplation of how it connects to real social processes. And these real social processes are processes of evaluation, right? Of, in other words, value attribution. Now, to summarize that into one slogan, every form of linguistic difference may become, at some point and for some reason and in the hands of some people, for some person, all right, an instrument of inequality. Okay, so every social linguistic difference may be turned into a feature of social inequality. Okay, so you may be somebody who speaks a particular language with an accent. Of course, that's great to have that accent. It's beautiful, and locally, let's say it's valued because it contributes to, like, the atmosphere of your village where you live, or the region where you live. It enables other people to project like a certain identity, even a certain charm upon you, and so on and so on. Nothing wrong with it, okay? But socially, all right, it is evaluated as lower than, for instance, the standard. And that's what you encounter when you go to school, when you are hunting for jobs, when you want to become somebody, let's say, who is active in the public sphere, and what have you. There's a number of ways in which all of a sudden this difference can become a feature of inequality, right? And so for me, this is the real social linguistics. It's an approach to language in which you look, or at least in which you have to start from objective differences in language, but instantly realize their potential for discrimination, for social discrimination, right? For forms of valuation, revaluation, evaluation, okay, that may change all the time, but that lead at any point, at any moment, to a social linguistic system as a stratified system, a system that works like a hierarchy, right, in which you have better varieties, better, okay, like the standard variety, and less better, or varieties that are good, but only in your village, or only within your age group, or only within your gender group, and so on and so on and so on. So this is an essential element of social linguistics, and a real social linguistics in that sense, a valuable social linguistics in my view, should be one that addresses exactly this edge of inequality, right? And examine the reasons why particular features, in particular, in the hands of particular people, right? In particular situations, in particular communities, but also in particular chronotopes, for instance, may become objects of discrimination, of exclusion, or on the other side, of privilege, of overprivileging, and so on and so on. Now you can call this political. So this would be a more political social linguistics, but you are really missing the essence of the social in social linguistics unless you're addressing the issue of real, i.e. political, very often also structural, okay, inequality in language. Thank you very much.